This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAIA Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Hey, what up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Jason Walker Show. We have a big show today. We're going to talk to three head basketball coaches who have their teams in respective national tournaments. Rachelle Sayers will join us from Carroll, Rockies West Keller, and we'll talk to Montana State's Danny Sprinkle coming up. That'll be a lot of fun. And let's see, we got On This Day in History, much more still to come here. As we get started, you can watch on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, TreasureStateRadio.com, and go to JasonWalkerShow.com anytime you need, for anything you need to watch the show or if you missed anything. A lot of fun this week is with all the national tournament talk in the state of Montana with the Bobcat women, the men as well, and then the Carroll men and women. You can weigh in anytime at JWalkerSports. You can also get a hold of us 209-1267, the area code 406. Oh, it's going to be fun. Let's start with Frontier Conference basketball and Jovan Slovančanin, who has just been an absolute animal his entire time at Carroll. Season came to an end before he wanted it to, obviously, as did the Saints, losing to Jamestown on Saturday night to get to the round of 16 in Kansas City, and along with Montana Tech falling on Saturday as well. So, but Jovan Slovančanin, the 6'5 senior from Carroll, from Belgrade, Serbia, has been named one of the top 25 watch list for the Bevo Francis Award, which is given every year to the player who had the best overall season with small college basketball. Jovan up against Wabash College, Jack Davidson, Alex Gross of Olivet Nazarene, Parker Hicks of Lubbock Christian, Trevor Hudgens of Northwest Missouri State, Josiah Johnson from Mary Hardin Baylor, Matthew Loretz from Illinois Wesleyan, Jacek Lottie from Flagler, no idea where that is, Matthew Schneer from Emory, Jalen Scott, Bethel, Kansas, Joel Scott, Black Hill State, Andrew Shisho from Damon, R.J. Sunahara from Nova Southeastern, and along with teammate Sekou Silla. And then Ryan Terrell of Yeshiva, Mason Walters of Jamestown, who Carroll fans saw Saturday, and Zach Reitzel from Loyola out of Louisiana. But good luck to Jovan. That's a great, great honor to be named to that watch list. Of course, Bevo Francis scored 113 points in a game a couple of weeks ago, back in history. But the award named after him, he was a fantastic, fantastic basketball player. And so is Jovan. So good luck to Jovan in that. Let's see, what else did we see here before we get to our first interview? I think that's about it. Lots of basketball. That's all the talk, though. I mean, we've got football spring practices going on, but does anybody really care right now? And not nothing against football, but just saying, does anybody care? Because it's basketball season in the state of Montana still. You have 4 teams playing in national tournaments. Let's see. Speaking of basketball, the Southwest Montana All-Star Basketball Classic starts Tuesday at the Hyper Complex at Tech. The girls and the guys, both. A lot of players from Southwest Montana. Let's see. I was going to see if we could see some of the names that are out there. I don't know right away if we can. But some great ones for sure. Southwest Montana's got some unbelievable, well, the whole state of Montana. I mean, let's be honest. State of Montana's got some unreal basketball athletes, and boys and girls. And good luck to those teams playing Tuesday. And then Thursday through Saturday next week, it is the annual Highline Invitational up in Havre. So these high school kids, a lot of them just saw their seasons come to an end, will get to showcase their skills one more time up in Havre. The tournament, founded by Babsy Bishop, has been held in both Malta and Havre, but it's been in Havre for quite some time. So Thursday, the Class A versus the Class C girls, and then the Class A versus Class C boys next week. We'll cover more of this next week. And then Friday, the rest of the teams get going, and then there'll be some consolation and championship games on Saturday. So another tournament atmosphere for a lot of these great high school kids. Speaking of tournament atmosphere, the Carroll women are going to be in a tournament atmosphere this week as they start Thursday in the round of 16 out in Sioux City, Iowa, as the Saints take on Morningside, Iowa. And joining us now to chat about Carroll's win at regionals at Loyola and also look ahead to Morningside and much more is the head coach of the Carroll College Saints, Rachelle Sayers, joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Well, Coach, when was the last time you were at home?
It's been a full week. We left on Tuesday.
And hopefully it stays for another, 2 full weeks, essentially, is what you'd like. Another full week, right?
Yeah, the national championship would be a week from today.
You got some work to do, but take me through that pod down in New Orleans, because tough games, and then that championship, 62-51 lead, and little adversity in the last couple of minutes, but Carroll was able to pull it out. Take me through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing experience. Obviously, you'd love to play at home. We hadn't anticipated, being a one seed in that pod and having to fly halfway across the country to play. But now that we've been through it and done it, I think it was a really neat experience. We were able to play at Tulane University, so a really neat gym. And I think when you go and play at the national level, you want to play in an arena. You want to play in a nice place and have that experience. And we had probably 40 between parents and fans there, maybe even more than that. The majority of our players' families came down, which was really neat to have that experience. But then, unfortunately, you end up winning the first game and then having to play the host team in Loyola of Louisiana at home, which was similar to what happened to us last year. But I think having that experience last year against LC State and then just the really competitive and intense games we've had on the road in the Frontier Conference definitely prepared us for that storm we faced the last 2 minutes of that game. I think about 4 minutes to go, our players were starting to sense that we were going to win that thing, and they were playing with great purpose and really playing well, getting stops. And then Loyola, came at us like crazy with the press, and we didn't handle it very well. But we're able to survive it.
Ever since I've known you, you have scheduled tough non-conference opponents in their place. And then, of course, we know how tough the Frontier is. And it definitely helped, I think, in that moment, those last couple of minutes down there in Tulane.
Oh, I think 100% being in those experiences. Just the last few games of our conference, I mean, there's not a worse place to play than Rocky Mountain when that thing's packed and the students are standing right on the sidelines and they're in your face and they're screaming at you. And so I don't think that, that was really a factor, but I also think it was a definite benefit to have gone through those hard road games as well as just those tough conference games and knowing how to respond and how to keep your composure and being able to pull it out.
Are you tired of seeing the color green between Tech, Rocky, and now Tulane?
Well, I'm to the point now, we're to the point of our season where we don't care who we see. We just want to make sure that we're still able to step on the floor and keep playing. So whoever that team might be across the way from us, we're excited to play them.
Rachelle Sayers joining us, the Carroll College women's coach, and Tulane, of course, the green wave, so lots of green. But you take a day off in New Orleans, you get to tour around the city a little bit, which is pretty cool. But then you hop a flight to Omaha or Atlanta, then Omaha, and then drive up to Sioux City. You got there yesterday. You've been through these tournaments before. You know the preparation. What do you tell these girls? Because some of them are making their first trip.
You know, it really is their first trip for a lot of them, especially in this new format where, you know, before we were, you know, the last time these guys were at the national tournament was at Rocky, and everybody was there, all 32 teams. And then the time before, I think this group has only actually been at Rocky for two times. Then the next year was canceled, and then last year we were at LC. So the format's really different for all of them, even though they do have quite a bit of experience. So I think just you know, understanding that each game is the most important, and that you know, that's all we're focused on. I told them in Sioux City after we won the first that, hey, we didn't come this far just to come this far. And, you know, this was not the end point. It was really the starting point. And kind of the same message when we get down here, you know, you're here. And we're not just excited to be here. Like we came here to do something really special. And I think this team has the talent to do that.
Speaking of really special, we know how good Danny Wagner, Christine Denny, Pickens, Hilborn, all those are. Sienna Swanik, but Jaden Lyman's fourth quarter in that pod regional final. Wow, what can you say about Jaden? Because she's been doing it since she got there, and that mid-range jumper of hers got you guys really sealed the deal.
Well, Jaden stepped up big time in that game, and she's been such a force on the defensive end. And we've actually in these last months or so we've actually been playing Jaden and Camden together a lot. Just because of their speed and athleticism up front on the defensive end, but because Jaden is scoring the ball so much better than she was earlier, we can play her at the two with Camden, and so and those two love playing together. I don't think other teams love seeing them out there together, but those two really love to get after it and play together. And Jaden just made some big shots. She made, I think she might have had 10 in that, or 7 of our last 10. She had a big 3, and she broke them down, and got to the rim, and she just played with such poise and such confidence. And you know, I was just super proud of her, but I wasn't surprised. I mean, that's just the toughness, and Jaden wants to extend this basketball season. This is it. She came back for this, and you know, they want to keep playing.
Rachelle Sayers joining us, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline, Carroll College women's coach. You guys get Morningside on Thursday morning. I know you haven't slept a whole lot. How much film have you watched?
Well, I've watched enough to know that they're the best shooting team I've seen on film for sure. You know, they're shooting the 3 over, you know, close to 40%, and they're shooting the 10 of them. They're making about 11 a game, and so that's going to really put a lot of pressure on our defense. We're going to have to be really sharp. We can't make a lot of mistakes. They're not very big, and so they're just going to spread you out and try to get to their shooters. Really like a lot of these Midwest teams that you see, you know, in the NCAA tournament, whether it's Creighton or some of those teams that just really shoot it and spread you out. And, you know, just a kind of a similar team to us. I think they're very fundamental and physical and play hard, and so it's going to be a really good matchup for us. Completely different than what we saw in the regionals, but that's what you want. I mean, when you get to this national tournament, you really don't want to see somebody just like you. You don't want to see somebody you're that familiar with. You know, you want a chance to play somebody new, and this is somebody we've never played before. And I don't know what it is with our luck, but you know, they are the home team here in Sioux City, but I guess we should be used to that. We went to Providence, and we went to Rocky, and then we went to Louisiana. We just can't get away from these home teams. So I guess we're used to this by now. But as I look out my window in the hotel, I'm looking right at the Tyson Arena, and I know I'm excited about the opportunity, and I know the players are really excited about it.
Have you talked to Mo Boyle, the volleyball coach at Carroll, at all about the facility, because they've been there too?
Yeah, we did talk about them coming out here. And I know football has been out here for some playoff games, and this has been the site when the D2 held it here for a lot of years. And so I think that's the cool thing, even though having that national tournament in Billings was really nice for our fans and for our families. You know, we traveled so well there, and you have the whole state of Montana, you feel like it's nice behind you. There's something to be said to going somewhere and being in a big arena that you haven't been in before, and being at a place that is new. And so I think that kind of is as long as this journey has been. You know, yesterday we flew from New Orleans to Atlanta to Omaha. We practiced at Creighton, and then we got in vans and drove here and got in about 10 p.m. last night. As long as this journey has been, it's super exciting to look out my window and see that big arena and know that that's the place that hopefully these guys can make their mark.
We were talking Saturday over at the Class A tournament, but there was a potential that 8 Montana teams could have been the national tournaments between NAIA or NCAA. There are 2 from the Frontier at the women's tournament. And we know how good the Frontier Conference is. Do you think between you and Rocky both being, I mean, you guys are 2 of 16 teams. You're an 8th of the field. That says a lot about the strength of the Frontier.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm actually surprised that Providence isn't down here too, because I think they're, I actually think they're one of the top 16 in the country. But, you know, kind of like us last year, you got to get the job done when you need to, and they stumbled a little bit out in Alexandria. So I think it says a ton about our league. I think it really, quiets the whispers a little bit. You know, people, are always talking about, well, how do you have, such a small league, and, you have 16s and 4 of the 6 get to go to the national tournament. Doesn't seem right. And, I actually think all 6 of our teams in a lot of years can compete at the national tournament on that level. And such good coaches in this league, and coaches that have been in those programs a long time. I mean, you just don't see that. And so they continue to get better every year. And, we have great basketball in Montana. And so most of these rosters have about half the roster full of Montana kids. And I think it speaks volumes. And then to see both Montana State teams going on is really exciting for those 2 coaches that, that both played in the Big Sky. I mean, obviously when Trish played, Boise State was still in the Big Sky. So them coming back and representing their schools in the conference is pretty exciting.
What's the message to the team this week?
This morning?
This week.
Oh, this week? I think that as big as this time is for us, I want them to enjoy this experience. I don't want it to be so intense and so worrisome and so much focus on the actual game that they don't enjoy this experience. Because obviously this is the last experience for 4 of them this season, and they've worked extremely hard. I mean, we had our first game this year, October 23rd, and we could be playing our last game at that time in March. And so you think about how long this season is, and the grind of the season, and the toll the last few seasons with COVID has taken on this group. I just want them to enjoy what they've earned, and they've earned an opportunity to be here, but also to know that they belong. And that's been a big message from me to them, is that, they belong here. And they've been ranked all year. Everybody knew that they'd be here, and everybody believed that they'd be here. And it's extremely important that they believe that when they walk out on that floor, they expect to win that game. And they're going to do everything in their power to do that. And that's all we can ask for. And then the chips will fall how they fall. I mean, we can't always control if we're on or off, or, if we have a bad call or a good call go for us or against us, but we can control our thought process and our effort, and those are really the things we're going to focus on.
Well, we're all rooting for you from here in Helena and across the state of Montana. It's an exciting time. It is the madness of March, and you guys earned your right to be there in Sioux City. Let's talk Thursday afternoon after you win that first round game, shall we?
Sounds great to me.
That is Rachelle Sayers joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All of our guests appear via the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. It's not just a bundle. It's your home, it's your auto, it's your life, and Mike gets that. Check him out, Mike Miller State Farm in Helena. The opening segment of the Jason Walker Show brought to you, as always, by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. Family owned and operated, along with veteran-owned and woman-owned, milled, handcrafted, and timber-framed, the three unbelievable divisions they have, 50-plus years of experience. Check them out at yourcustomlog.com. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll switch gears, and we'll talk college hoops NCAA style. Wes Keller still to join us coming up a little bit later on. But when we return here, we're going to check in with Danny Sprinkle, Montana State men's basketball coach, get his thoughts on the team's matchup with Texas Tech on Friday morning at 10:45 Mountain Time. That's coming up. The Jason Walker Show is presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana State Law says it's your vehicle. It is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana State Law says it's your vehicle, and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting, as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show on a Tuesday. Still to come, Rocky coach Wes Keller. On this day in history, the walk-off, and more. This segment of the Jason Walker Show is brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. Well, you got a lot of basketball going on with Montana teams. Carroll Rocky women out in Iowa. The Bobcat men and women both will be in California on Friday. In fact, we're going to talk to Alex Eshelman tomorrow, our great ABC Fox Montana SWX sports reporter. Get her thoughts on the Cats, men and women. And also, we're going to ask her about the State B, which was held last weekend in Bozeman at the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. Speaking of the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse, that is where legendary Danny Sprinkle first came to fruition. As he, what's the deal? He scored 30 in his championship game against Weber State his freshman year to lead the Cats to the NCAA Tournament in 1996. It was pretty cool. I remember sitting there watching it, and I was in the attendance for the Weber State championship game, which was fantastic. And earlier this year, the Cats went down to Colorado to play, and Fran Fraschilla talked about chicken wings. Like, when times get tough, just remember to smell the chicken wings. So that's been the motto of the Cats the last week or so, and that's how we start off, as Danny Sprinkle joins us here on the Jason Walker Show. Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. All right, Coach. First off, I got to know, what's your favorite flavor of chicken wings?
Man, I'll tell you what. I like the Asian zing.
Okay.
I like the Asian zing, and I like the hot wings.
Okay.
I don't like the medium, all that. I like the spicy stuff. And so we got a bunch of them now. I know we got about every single different flavor the other day.
It's such a great story, and I'm so glad that you brought it up to Lamberty and everybody involved so that we could get that story out there. That's fantastic. Danny Sprinkle joining us here, Montana State men's coach. Feelings as you saw the clock tick down to 0?
It was kind of surreal, because I look back, I saw my parents, and they were sitting kind of standing behind our bench, and just looking at all the Bobcat fans in the arena. Like, that's why I came back and took this job. I was obviously, the players deserve this more than anybody, but a very close second is all the Bobcat fans that have been through a lot, the last 26 years. I mean, that's a long time to wait. And they've continued to support. They show up at the field house. They're not fair weather fans. They're there through rain or shine, and I was really, really happy for those Bobcat fans because they deserve it.
I look back and my first year announcing was in 1997, I guess, or 96, 97. Your freshman year, and I mean that's a long time to wait for me, my man.
Well, 95, 96 was my freshman year.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right. So I came back and I started sophomore year, 96 then.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a long way still for me.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, it was awesome, and obviously I spent some time in California. This will be my 5th NCAA tournament.
Right.
And that's what I'm excited about. Like, I'm excited for these guys to go down there and experience getting on a bus and having a police escort, seeing all the fans at the hotel, walking into the arena, and just, the atmosphere and the energy around the NCAA tournament is absolutely unbelievable. So this is why you coach, and this is why you play Division I basketball.
Your freshman year, I go back to it real quick. Is it time to bring that song back that the Fox radio station did back then, the Danny Sprinkle song?
I don't know about that. I think they might have that like on a VHS track. I don't know if anybody has that anymore.
I don't. Yeah, it's great. We're talking with Montana State men's coach Danny Sprinkle. How much of your experience at the NCAAs will you rely on as a coach to get these guys prepared for what's coming up this week?
Yeah, a lot. I think the one thing you have to do is it's not time to celebrate. Like, the season's not over. Like, you have a chance to be part of college basketball history if you go upset somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody in the world will remember Montana State if you go upset Texas Tech, just like they remember Northern Iowa beating Kansas, Lehigh beating Duke. Like, all those upsets that make March Madness, like, we have an opportunity to do that. And I don't want these guys to just go in here and be like, oh, well, we did what we're supposed to do. Let's just go have fun. Like, that's not – no, we're going to go compete. And, we have to compete against probably the most competitive team in the country, in Texas Tech. I mean, you talk about guys that play with a chip on their shoulder. I love watching their film. I love watching their team and their coaches because they get after it.
At what point in the season did you know you had a special team?
Probably pretty early. Like, the Colorado game showed me a lot. because there was a great atmosphere down there. And, we had our chances to win that game, but our guys, they just, there was a lot of adversity in that game, and we kept kind of coming back. So I knew we had a little bit of substance to us. Then we went and played, at the pit in New Mexico. Played well enough to win. We just didn't win it in the last 3 minutes. South Dakota State's the one team this year that kicked our tails. We weren't in that game. I think it ended up 15, but offensively they were tremendous. But I knew going through kind of that gauntlet, and going to winning 3 games down in San Antonio, it showed me like the maturity of this team, and you could, as much time as we spent on the road in the non-conference, like it really brought our team together.
Danny Sprinkle, our guest here, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. You had that big win streak in the middle of the season, the tough loss on the road at Eastern, but then you guys bounced back. And really, there was some adversity in that conference tournament. You didn't, there was some close games, but you left no question in that championship. What was the message before that Northern Colorado game?
Not much. Like, I knew the guys were locked in. I could tell it at shoot around that our guys were locked in. I didn't have to give a big motivational speech or anything like that. I just told myself, man, just everybody in here, bring your best. From myself to the assistant coaches to the trainers to the freshmen, sophomores, seniors, like, just do what you do, because you guys have proven over the course of the year that if you just do what you're supposed to do, you're good enough to win this game. And it's no pressure on everybody, because that's been the strength of our team the entire year, is we have multiple guys that step up every day. And so I was like, get your nerves out in warm-ups, because your brother's got your back. Even if you don't make a shot, your brother's got your back over here. He's going to make the next shot. And, and they just went and played, man. And when you talk about playing their best game, from Tyler to Nick to, Xavier's tremendous, Almond, everybody that stepped on that court produced.
Yeah, I mean, a 20-plus point victory in a championship. Well, 18, I guess, was the final. But
against a tremendous team, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the bracket fell out. Obviously, you were the 1 seed, but everything worked out for you in your guys' favor. And you go back to when somebody shared the video of your press conference, and you said you dream this right now. And to paraphrase you, but when you're dreaming of cutting down the nets, you visualize it starting right now. And you guys have bought into that, and your whole team's bought into that for the last 3 years. I think that's pretty special.
Yeah, and like I said, like I'm relentless with that vision. I talk about it a lot. I think sometimes, everybody's built different, and some guys you got to beat that vision into them, and some of them get it. They're intrinsically motivated, and but that's what's fun about coaching a team, is you have so many different personalities, and you got to bring them all together, and showing them how hard you have to work in order for these type of events to happen. These type of moments, like the work that you have to put in. It wasn't just this year. Like this started with Harold Frey and Layden Ricketts and Devin Kirby. Like those guys that really built the base of this program. And now we're just. We're kind of getting a little better. And, it's something that these freshmen right now, they're going to have to carry on that tradition here in a couple of years. They're going to have to up the ante, and, they're going to be the ones playing a lot of minutes and having the pressure on them. They got to be ready to produce. But, it's been a 3-year process.
Danny Sprinkle, our guest here, Jason Walker Show, Montana men's coach. He'll play Texas Tech Friday morning, Mountain Time in San Diego. You're a SoCal, well, you're a hell of a boy, you're a Montana guy, but SoCal, yep. How cool is it to be headed back there? Because you've gotten a lot of recognition on the Twitter from your former coaches, your former, coaching staffs and all of that, and guys just respect you, and it's pretty cool.
No, it's awesome. I mean, I spent 20 years in Southern California. I spent almost as long in Southern California as I've lived in Montana. Mm-hmm. And so I got tons of great friends down there. They're all excited. I've gotten a ton of ticket requests that I can't meet because we just don't have enough tickets. But it's awesome. I got, Coach Braswell is going to be flying in for the game, which means a lot to me. The guy who hired me and gave me my first opportunity at Cal State Northridge. You know, Coach Durham's coming down with his wife and his family.
Nice.
And so, I mean, it's going to be a special moment.
Bring up those traveling, but Bobcat Nation travels well. They were in Boise. They represented the football team down in Frisco. You expect a good Bobcat crowd?
I expect an awesome Bobcat crowd. You know, I know, quite a few former players are going to be down there. I mean, it's a 7-hour drive to Boise, and we had probably 3,000 fans at the arena. You know, I mean, it was loud, and you know, it was all Bobcats. You know, in the semis and the championship for the women's games and all that. And so no, it's Bobcat Nation's going to travel well. I guarantee that.
Danny Sprinkle joining us. You bring up the women's team, and I had Tricia Binford on yesterday, and I told her I think it's the first time in all my years covering Montana State or being a fan of the Bobcats is the cohesiveness that the women's team and the men's team, coaches, staff, the players, everybody has together, and it really starts with President Cruzado, Leon Costello, the athletics director. But you guys support each other, and I don't know if I've ever really seen that at Montana State.
No, and to be honest, like it doesn't happen a lot. You know, I mean, there's always egos in athletics, or they get this, we're not getting it. You know, there's always that stuff in every school. And, you know, here it's like we just all pull for each other. You know, it's like we're pulling for the football team because we know if they have success, it bleeds into every other program. If we have success on a women's program, you know, if we have success, it bleeds into the track program. It bleeds into the golf program. And the expectations and the energy here at Montana State right now are off the charts, you know, and I really think that, you know, we're on the verge of really breaking through and doing some really special things. You know, we do have to correct a lot of facility stuff and locker room, and, you know, I mean, we have to do a lot of stuff with the field house, you know, I'm just talking from a basketball standpoint, but, you know, I mean, we're on the verge of you know, with the timing of everything right now, like we could do some special things.
Well, it's already been a special year for Montana State athletics. What will it take for you guys to pull that upset?
You know, we're going to have to make some shots. You know, I mean, they're the number one defensive team in the country.
Yep.
I mean, they play with a chip on their shoulder. They're tough. I mean, you know, I had a coach tell me, and it's probably the best quote I've heard. He said, "They're as real gets." And, you know, I mean, we're going to have to take care of the basketball. You cannot turn the ball over. If you give them easy baskets, you have no chance of winning because they're too hard to score on. We're going to have to move the ball. You know, and you have to throw in some threes. Anytime you're going to upset somebody in the tournament, you know, usually it's, you know, a team that hits 8 or 9 threes. And then obviously defensively, we have to be able to get stops. You know, we can't let them pound us on the offensive glass and get second chance points and, you know, just keep it close. You keep that close into the last 10 minutes of the game, and I mean, the pressure just completely ratchets it up on them. And everybody in that building, you know how March Madness is. Everybody's going to be a Montana State fan if we keep that close.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I go back to 1985 with St. John's and Walter Berry, and then, of course, Crowell Furch's dunk, which was, you know, a highlight reel for the next 100 years. But and you guys kept it close in that halftime game, or the Syracuse game in 96. Through the half.
It was a 1-point game at halftime. Yeah. We got beat by 30.
Yeah. Well, forget the second half. Don't do that.
Exactly.
But how much have you relied on just the support of family to get you to this point?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
How much did you rely on the support of your family to get you to this point? Because we know you have a great family background.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they mean the world to me. I was so excited they were able to come down to Boise and, you know, went to dinner with them after the game. I mean, it's, you know, I'm not me without them. And, you know, that's my backbone. They're the biggest supporters, good or bad. And, you know, they're awesome. I mean, I got the best parents in the world. I'm very, very, very fortunate. My sisters are tremendous. I mean, they live and die at the game just like I do on the sideline. They're up in the crowd, stressing out, walking around. You know, they have just as much pride in our program as I do.
Do you have superstitions as far as like what shirt, what tie you're going to wear on Friday?
No, we don't wear ties anymore. We wear the quarter zips.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
So, no, I might let people pick out my shoes though. We do something with that. So I may do that. I might have to get a couple new pairs.
I like that. Hey, Coach, we're super happy for you. I've known you a long, long time, and I just couldn't be prouder and more happy to call you a friend and a friend of the show. But get it done down there. I want to talk to you next week after you get to the next round. How's that?
I'll tell you what. I want to talk to you too, man. I appreciate it.
That is Danny Sprinkle joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. And if you haven't seen it yet, this was from April 5th, 2019. When Sprinkle was introduced as the Bobcat head coach, and we kind of referenced this earlier in the interview, but here it is.
Like today, trust me, I've dreamed this. It happens. And when you're cutting down those nets, you're going to come back to this moment. You're going to be like, man, listen, I saw this happening before it even happened.
That was put together by the Bobcats video team in Bozeman. It's impressive. It's pretty awesome. If you get a chance to see that, it's on Twitter. All right, quick break. We'll come back. By the way, the Cats play Friday morning, 10:45 Mountain Time against Texas Tech. Quick break. We'll come back. We're going to go back to Sioux City, Iowa, and talk to Wes Keller, the Rocky women's coach. They had a lot of adversity last year, and if you were a fan of this show or listened to it at all about a year ago, you know we had Coach Keller's back, and him and his team are back at the national tournament, which is pretty awesome, and he will join us next. Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
This is the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment on a Tuesday. Tomorrow, Alex Eshelman, that's what she said. Thursday, author Paul Wiley will join us. We're going to talk about his book. It's based on the 1929 Golden Bobcat National Championship basketball team. So he'll join us on Thursday. Looking forward to that. And yes, it's actually true. The Bobcats did win a national championship in 1929 and voted the best team of the first half of the last century. I believe it was Sports Illustrated. Well, one of the teams that is hoping that they're going to be one of the best teams this year is the Rocky Women. And joining us now from Sioux City, Iowa to talk about winning the conference title along with the regional at home in Billings is the head coach of the Battling Bears, Wes Keller.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on making it to Sioux City. This is a team you kind of knew was going to be really good, but take me through your regional finals and your pod there at home. Obviously exciting to be at home, but you still had to go out and play, and a tight game turned into a blowout there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was exciting. We had a unbelievable atmosphere. Our student body and the fans both nights, it was just special to be a part of that. The first night, Reinhardt, they had, two really quality guards, a D1 Division I transfer from Ball State that had scored, high 30s, I think even 41 game. And, the Friday night we were able to jump out on them and built up a big lead in the first half and kind of held on. They made a run at us in the third quarter, cut it to 6, and then, Chloe Thatcher hit a big three at the end of the third quarter to give us that, that real important thing called momentum back. And we carried it on into the fourth. And then Saturday, Dakota State, man, they might be the best 10 seed I've seen there in the tournament. Those guys are definitely high octane offense. They play a lot of kids up and down, and honestly, at the end of the day, it was probably one of the best college basketball games I've ever been a part of. It ended up 16, but it was definitely not a 16-point game.
No, we were watching it.
I kept thinking throughout the game, I'm like, I don't know if we can gap these guys. We get up 4, next thing you know, we're down 2 or 1, and Shauna Bribieskis just kind of took over there, hit 3 or 4 threes in a matter, a minute or so, and that was definitely the difference in the game.
You mentioned D1 transfers. India Fly, your transfer from Butler, a triple-double in that last game against Dakota State. How special has she been for you guys?
Oh, India's, she's a tremendous basketball player, a great person. It's been really nice to see her growth in our program over the last, she's been with us 2 years as a redshirt last year. And the thing I'll say about India, she's one of the most competitive kids I've ever coached or been around. She wants to win. And, I think one of the biggest things, she leads in practice and she never takes the possession off in practice. And I think that's carried over to our other kids and just her confidence too. I think that floats over to the rest of the team and it's just been a real nice mix and combination this year.
Wes Keller, our guest here, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. How special has this year been, giving the adversity last year? How special has this year been?
Yeah, there was definitely some conversations, in the fall that, we had to decide. I've told this team, from day one this year that, they can be as good and go as far as they want to go. They're going to be the ones that determine that. And I felt like we've obviously really came together and bought in. And I think we have a lot of strong, loyal young women in our program, and they really care about each other, and they love each other, and they love going to war and battle with each other out there every night that we step out onto the court.
Well, we've seen that they love you too, which is great, especially that Chloe Thatcher girl. I mean, that Thatcher family. I watched Sophie at the State A over in Missoula all week, but holy cow, how good has that Thatcher family been?
Oh, they're just tremendous human beings, and Chunky's been a lifelong friend to me, and Chloe's an unbelievable person and a leader, and she's been the backbone of our program, for 3 years, and just very, very thankful that she's in our program, and I'm able to coach her and whatnot.
Wes Keller, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. You guys got the chance to host the NAIA tournament for 3 of the 4 years that it was supposed to be in Billings. That first year, a sub 500 record, I think 7 wins. But after that, 20 wins seasons, and rightfully so, because you've built a great program down there at Rocky. How much of that experience of hosting the NAIA tournament and seeing those teams that were the top 32 at the time, how much of that did you play off of what you needed to recruit to be one of those top 16 teams now?
Well, yeah, I think it definitely helped. I think Chloe may be the only one that I'm trying to think that had NAIA national tournament experience when it was in Billings. I think what you see, or I've seen, if you will, all the teams are good. I feel like the teams that make a run at things definitely have a takeover guard. You look at my good buddy Lindsey Woolley at Montana Western. They had Bree King and a bunch of tough kids and that had bought into their role and could make open shots, and look what it did for them. So I definitely think in a tournament like this, you got to have good guard play. It is a vital thing, I guess, if you will.
The Frontier has 2 teams at the national tournament, could have had 3, potentially 4. What's it say about the strength of the conference? We know from outside or from inside how good it is, but what's it say to the nation about, hey, we got 2 of the last 16 teams remaining. You guys owe us some respect here.
Yeah, no, I've said a million times, I'm sure you have too, there's just no night off in our league. And from top to bottom, it is the best league in the country. There's no night that you walk into the gym knowing that no matter how well you play or how poorly you play, you're going to win by just showing up. And, Carroll's got a very, very experienced and solid team, and I'm sure they're going to do well the rest of the way. And hopefully that we're ready to go, and hopefully we can play as long as we can out here.
Tell me about Wayland Baptist. What have you seen on film?
Yeah, Wayland, they I think they probably average 85 or 6 points a game. They have a first-team All-American 4-5 spot. Their front court are their 3, in my opinion, their 3 top players. Their 4s and their 5. They want to push a little bit, but as far as matchups go, you never want to get overconfident or be like, oh, we can't beat these guys. But I definitely think that if we come out and play, it should be a good ball game.
So are we going to see a Carroll Rocky championship?
I'm sure everybody'd like to see that. I know I know personally, I don't know that I want to play him a 5th time, but it's just, yeah. In the league, it's just, playing people 3 times, and then in the playoffs 4, and then possibly 5, yeah. I'm sure Rachelle and I definitely take that opportunity for sure. Even though we wouldn't really want to do it.
I'm sure. Yeah, no, exactly. Hey, how much, you're a first timer out there really at the national tournament at the final site, aside from being at Rocky, but this one is not at home. This one is out in Sioux City. So what's the message to the girls out there this week?
Well, we got here last night about 11 o'clock. We got a little practice. Every team gets to practice in the actual arena that we're playing in this year one time. We haven't really honestly discussed a lot. We're our whole thing this year has been, we got to worry about what we do. Are we going to continue to, we talk a lot about the little things, those are the differences in winning and losing ball games. And we just continue to talk about, hey, let's continue to do the little things that have gotten us to this point. Let's control what you can control, okay, and then be the best possible teammate that you can, and give our kids credit. They've accepted roles and been superstars in their roles this year, and I don't think it's a case of we're just happy to be here. We're expecting to do some things. That's how I feel.
Well, you've got the support of a lot of the state of Montana and the Frontier Conference fans as well, and our support too, because it was a rough spring last year. It's a much better spring this year, and we're proud of you. And let's talk Friday, I guess, after you win that Thursday night game.
Yep, let's do it, man. I'm all for that.
That is Wes Keller joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Rocky opens up on Thursday rather, at the NAIA tournament as they take on Wayland Baptist. And I think that'll be 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Thursday rather. All right, thanks for all. Man, that was fun getting all those guys and gals the last couple of days. Let's see here. Let's do On This Day in History. It is March 15th. It is World Social Work Day, Equal Pay Day, and Everything You Think Is Wrong Day, which is just another day in the life of being married, right? On this day in 1869, Cincinnati Red Stockings become the first professional baseball team. 1912, pitcher Cy Young retired from baseball with 511 wins. That is a record that will never be touched. He also had the most losses in Major League history. 1958, Oscar Robertson of Cincinnati Royals scores an NBA Midwest region record 56 points. That same game, teammate Maurice Stokes collapses during a playoff game with encephalitis. He would go into a coma and left permanently disabled. Happy birthday today, 1967, to NFL tackle Kirk Scrafford of the Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos, San Francisco 49ers. Played from the 1990 to 1998 season. He was born in Billings. And musically, great birthday day for music. Terrence Trent D'Arby, wishing well, born in 1962. Rockwell, 1964, Someone Watching Me. In 1963, Bret Michaels, yes, Talk Dirty to Me, from Poison. Every Rose Has Its Thorn. And on this date, 1972, The Godfather premiered in New York. What a great movie. Let's see, I got to get back all the way up here for this. Boom.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Jason Walker back, and the walk-off presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Hey, do me a favor. Stop in sometime this week and get lunch or dinner from Miss Lou. Tell her we sent you, okay? And... But, yeah, make sure you stop into Cafe Zydeco. They take care of our first responders. They take care of a lot. So get into to Cafe Zydeco. Get yourself some great food. I know we're going to leave you on TreasureStateRadio.com, possibly before we're out. But great show. Hope you had fun. I did. Thanks to Rachelle Sayers, Wes Keller, Danny Sprinkle, all joining us. Tomorrow we'll talk That's What She Said with Alex Eshelman. Paul Wiley, author, will join us on Thursday, talk about his book about the 1929 Golden Bobcats. It's a great week. I think they just tipped off in Dayton in the first four. Have yourself a terrific Tuesday night. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4. If you missed anything, go to jasonwalkershow.com. We are presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana State Law says it's your vehicle. It's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 4 o'clock, the one and only Jason Walker Show.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.